Welcome back. We are here with Sanjeev now inside his power plant, a less picturesque site than upstairs, but this is what it's all about. This is about production, the heart of production. Now, Sanjeev, we hear about Liberty House as primarily a commodities company. This is slightly off the track for your company, is it?
So there are four fundamental parts to the group. In Liberty, you have two groups. The Liberty Industries Group is largely about steel and engineering.
And that's yours?
Yes. And the Liberty Commodities Group is about commodities. So basically, Liberty Commodities Group has been trading in and supplying commodities, primarily steel and non-ferrous metals and raw materials globally for the last 25 years.
So commodities like steel and ferrous stuff?
Yes, indeed. So
right.
that is international trading. We have 32 countries around the world where we have operations. With hubs in London, Dubai, Singapore and Hong Kong. So that business supplies steel and steel raw materials globally to...
where do you source it and where do you sell to?
So it depends and it changes. First of all, it depends on the commodity we're talking about. So for example, iron ore comes from Australia, comes from Brazil, whereas things like steel billets come from CIS, come from China. So it depends on the commodity and depends on which country you're trying to serve.
And is that a $5 billion a year turnover business?
No, that this year will do about $4 billion.
Right, right. And that's
on the commodities business.
Right. And you mentioned that you particularly have gone into beyond the steel products and ferrous materials trading into steel production. What drew you to this?
So we have as I said, there are four parts of the business.
Yeah.
Second part is the Liberty Industries business, which is largely around steel and engineering businesses. Within that, we have the steel plant, which we saw from a distance a few minutes ago. Then we have in the Midlands, we have over a dozen engineering businesses producing auto parts and components for the likes of Jaguar, Land Rover, and Rolls-Royce. We have now the plate mills in Scotland. So we have various mills also in Africa. We have various countries where we have steel operations. So we have steel production scattered around the world and in the UK, and engineering businesses. We are in that business. And this business, the power business, rests within SIMEC. So SIMEC is my father's business, and within that, power is the mainstay. There are several businesses in that, but power is the mainstay.
And you were based in Dubai before you moved to London?
No. So I moved to Dubai from the UK about 7 years ago, and I was in Dubai for 6 years. And
it wasn't steel that took you to Dubai?
No, I was focused on the commodities business. So Dubai is our global headquarters for the commodities business. So I was running the commodities business in Dubai while I was there. I came back to the UK to focus on industry, to focus both on Liberty and SIMEC's industrial aspect.
What drew you to this?
Change in the cycle, identification of opportunities. We had bought the steel plant and by last year we were at a position where all the problems had been cleaned up. The plant was cleaned, was in a position to restart, so I wanted to focus on that. This plant was also starting operations, which is adjoining, so I wanted to focus on this. Once I came back, several other opportunities came up. Kaparo went into administration, so we were able to buy that out of administration and save over 1,000 jobs in that business. Yeah. And then Tata's situation started to evolve, and we were able to buy the plate mills in Scotland, and so on and so forth.
Now, you were talking, Sanjeev, about your passion, bucking the trend of fashion. Now, it is becoming unfashionable, at least in this part of the world, in Europe, to try and step away from the steel business. We've seen the fate of Kaparo, other industries. We've seen Mittal's business decline a bit, and you at the same time have this renewed, stronger faith in steel production here, in the face of imports from China.
Yeah.
At the prices and given the quantities that they're exporting in, how does that add up?
Okay, so there are several aspects to this. One fundamental point is that these are cyclical businesses, and once upon a time, some of the groups you mentioned, they made their fortunes from steel. So it's nothing static in life. Things change. The other point is our model. So our model is not based on steel per se. Our model largely is based on recycling steel in the UK and in value-added engineering businesses downstream. So UK as a mature economy needs a lot of products. If we can manufacture those projects, there's a lot of skill set, a lot of history here of making both in engineering and in steel making. So if we can harness some of that, we're assets we acquire, we're resetting the capital base because we're acquiring them for very little money. So it's not like we paid large amounts of money for the assets we bought. We bought them quite well. So to turn them into profits by resetting their cost base and pursue a model which largely is around recycling steel and serving the domestic market and adding value to the steel with engineering processes and so on, it has proven to be viable. We are making good money. We will surpass all our budgets for this year. We budgeted a profitability of 150 million this year. We are already way ahead of that, and we will surpass that. So it's already proving to be a success, and we believe we can continue to consolidate on this.
Now, beyond steel, there have been several reports suggesting that you bought a very large number of companies in a short time. Now, what has that to do with? Is it to do with steel, or is it to do with other parts of Liberty, or something other than that?
For example, in the Caparo businesses, there's more than 24 businesses. Right? So each of those businesses are companies. So each of those business profit centers each have MDs. There's over 1,200 people in the Gupta'S business so far what we have, and each of those businesses is a separate production unit and a separate company. So naturally, in a large group, you will have many companies. So I'm not. Some of those questions, some of those inquiries are misplaced.
So, but is this all within the ferrous steel area?
No, so we have power, as you know.
Yes,
power plant is there. We've invested in Tidal Lagoon, which is a very exciting new technology to harness the strength of tidal power, basically.
But we are still talking steel, metal, energy,
and financial services. So we have four verticals: commodities, steel, engineering, power, both renewable and otherwise, and financial services. So we concluded the agreement to acquire Tungsten Bank in December. We're now in negotiations about change of control with the Bank of England on that. So that opens up a new business model, a new business vertical for us, which we're very excited about. Actually, out of the four businesses, I'm the most excited about that, if I'm honest, because financial services in our business has always been core. We have, as a commodities business, we've always provided financial support to our suppliers, our customers, and it's been one of our key strengths. And actually, is one of the key combinations with the steel business, with the engineering business, what makes us unique in terms of the proposition we have. We have not only a steel business, not only an engineering business, not only a power business, but also a financial business.
Do they all talk to each other, or are they just simultaneous?
No, the idea is absolute synergy between these four verticals. So they all support each other. So for example, power from this plant is supplied not only to the plant next door, but also to all our plants in the Midlands. It will also be supplied through this business unit to Scotland.
And the financial services will feed these?
Absolutely. Financial services.
In what way?
So for example, supply chain finance, we supply raw materials to many mills around the world. We finance them, we provide credit to a lot of steel mills around the world. In India, we provide credit to a lot of steel companies, for example. So that same strength we can use in-house. When steel is sold or products are sold to the market, again, credit needs to be provided by our steel mills to the market. Those supply chain financing operations, again, will be undertaken by our bank. So the idea is to basically synergize. They're all independent businesses, independently capitalized, independently managed. Each one has its board, its CEOs, management teams, and so on. But they all support each other on an arm's length basis, on a competitive basis. And
you mentioned India. Are you planning to do more business in India or with India?
Yes, of course. I mean, every NRI Indian has aspirations ultimately to do something back home. India is a tough place. It has been through a very tough time, but there is no doubt that the future of our industries, the verticals we are involved in, is in India. We are negotiating and looking at various businesses in all four verticals, including our financial services vertical, and sooner or later we will take steps in India.
And so you would consider making steel in India?
Well, steel sector in India is in deep distress, as you know, and there are a lot of M&A activity.
But that never seems to put you off.
No, and most of the times there's an opportunity out of distress. So there are many turnaround possibilities in India at the moment as well. But we take India very carefully, because to do business in India is not easy. It is a very difficult, challenged environment to work in. So we are looking at India for all our businesses, but very carefully.
A broad time frame in mind?
No, it's a continuous search. There is no, events are not in one's control always. It depends on how things transpire. Some of the businesses we have bought and turned around, I wouldn't have anticipated. Some of the things which are happening now, I wouldn't have anticipated. So these things are not always in one's control.
Well, let's step out, get some fresh air and hear a little more about the India connection. Well, cold, isn't it, Sanjeev? And this is a cold wave in the middle of the summer, and India, of course, has been having quite a heat wave, and that would include your Ludhiana. Do you get back there often?
Not as often as I used to. I get more to Bombay. So
right.
I try to go to Bombay at least once every 2 months.
So do you think of yourself as a Ludhiana lad?
I certainly think of myself as Punjabi. Ludhiana specifically, I have not spent that much time actually. I was born there, but most of my life was spent outside.
And how did you get outside?
So I came on holiday to England. My brother was studying here, I think when I was 13 or 14, and I liked it and I insisted on staying back. And so I got into the same school as my brother, and that was the beginning of my journey here. I've been here since then.
Right. And you went to university here?
Yes.
That was Cambridge?
Yes, correct. So I was in Kent in school, then London in school, then I took a couple of years out working for my father, selling bicycles around the world, and then eventually I...
So you took time off studies to sell bicycles?
So it's quite traditional to take between A-levels and...
The gap year.
The gap year, yes.
The gap year.
I took 2 gap years.
Right.
And I was working with that time, and then I came to Cambridge and I then started Liberty while I was there.
So gap year, of course, is a period between 2 academic pursuits, and people usually would take extended holidays, and you decided to sell bicycles.
And holidays are not in our vocabulary in terms of the way we were brought up. We always work. Even during when I was a child, during holidays we would go and spend a lot of time with my father in his factories or his office or whatever.
Right.
We've always been involved with work one way or another.
Don't tell me you don't take holidays now to unwind, and don't tell me that you do steal to unwind.
So I don't take holidays. I take holidays, meaning I'll take a weekend away here, or I mix work and pleasure quite a lot. So I get time off here and there, but I don't take any extended holidays. I've never taken extended holidays. I took one after my A-levels short holiday with my friends, about 10 days. Then the only other extended holiday was my honeymoon. And that's it. I've never taken an extended holiday.
So no fancy villas and no exotic yachts around the place?
No, it's not that I don't enjoy life. I do, but I enjoy working. So I will mix it up. I will work hard and I will play hard, but I will not take long holidays.
Right. And you went to Cambridge. You read at Cambridge. What did you read at Cambridge?
Economics and management. So
economics and management, but you apparently took to management while reading management.
The management part was easier, I must confess, and actually helped me because by then I was working quite hard at Liberty, so I wasn't giving enough time to my studies. And the fact that I could switch from economics to management, in Cambridge you have a tripos system, so you can do 2 different degrees, one after another, 2 halves, let's say. So the fact that I could switch to management helped me a great deal because it was easier.
And some of the Cambridge bosses didn't take very kindly to some of your management adventures then?
No, actually it's technicality. What happened is that when I started, I was obviously in college residence, in halls as we call it, and I got deemed, which means you get called up if you've done something naughty. And the problem was that I had registered the Liberty at the college address, and the reason I'd done that was because I wanted to, my telephone and fax bills and telex bills were quite high, so I wanted to reclaim VAT on that. So I had registered the company at that address. And apparently I didn't know, but you can't run businesses from charitable institutions, and universities are charitable institutions. So technically I could not stay in halls anymore. So I had to leave halls, and I had to hire an apartment nearby, and I continued my work from there.
But you are aware that usually students are hauled up for doing other kinds of naughty things.
Yes, indeed. So it was quite, I guess, unique deaning. I don't know if anybody would have been deemed and thrown out of halls for a reason like that in the past.
Well, it was a dramatic start and it's a dramatic journey. Thanks very much, Sanjeev, for talking to us. Enjoy your work or your holiday, of course. You seem to think of one as the other. And sure, we all think that to do what you do, it takes a lot of energy and nerves of steel.
Thank you.